Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome in the ring, guys. We are ready to go. Don't know about you, wherever you're joining us from, at home, here in the diaspora, or somewhere around the world. You might be on Twitter, you might be on YouTube, you might be on Facebook. Guys, you know as you come on, you gotta share the live stream, guys. We cannot do this without you. And there's an invitation for you guys to come on board and partner with us as well. We're going to tell you how to do that a little later on in the program. More about how to do that a little later on in the program, guys. But we're so happy that all of you guys have chosen to join us this evening. And what a packed program we have for you. Lots of information, guys. We have the fight card up and ready to go. We are ready to get into the fight card. You all know we wasting time these days at all. Trust that you guys have had a good day at home or at work. Whatever you guys did today, we trust that you would have done it well. So again, we are so grateful to have all of you guys in the ring this evening. It is our pleasure and it is our privilege to have you guys in the ring. It's confusion powder tonight, guys. We know how it is. We know how it is with these guys. It's confusion powder. But as you come on, guys, we ask you to share the live stream. We don't know about you guys, but we are ready to go. We are set. We're gonna hold just for a second or two for a few of you. But that being said, we are ready to go. We have the fight card set, and we are good to go, guys. You know what it is. We are good to go. We're going to have joining us a little later on in the program our friends from Hits and Jam, Mr. Kerwin Bollers and also Mr. Rawle Furguson. We're going to either have both of them or we're going to have either of them, but we are grateful. You know, we've been looking at this contract that a company that they represent was granted just recently, and there've been lots of controversy surrounding that. We're going to get into that a little bit more. But guys, as you come on board the live stream, we want you to share the live stream. And if we get past that story, whenever they join us, we're going to cut and go right to them. We know that these guys are busy. They have a radio station they manage. They have other things that they do. And so we want to go to them very, very quickly as soon as they come on and get some more insight into the story, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about. But guys, welcome in the ring, wherever you guys are joining us from. Did I hear the bell yet for the night? Did I hear the bell? I want to hear the bell. I think I want to hear the bell. Yeah. There's that bell song in there a little bit. Good to see each and every one of you. One more time. Let's fight, guys. We got to fight. Let's fight. We got to fight. Good to see all of you, wherever you guys are joining us from. And you know, guys, you know, every day we wake up in this country, what it is confusion powder. Confusion powder. They carry the confusion powder now into the press conferences. They carry the confusion powder into the statements that they're issuing to you members of the public. And we're going to be breaking it all down for you here. You know, we have the latest, all of the things that are trending on social media, all of the things that are trending that are Guyanese. And we're going to be telling you so much about what has happened over the last 24 hours. As well as, guys, we're going to be covering what is the latest on nomination day. PNCR decides 2021, road to the 21st biannual delegates Congress. We're going to be talking a little bit about that as well. Guys, you hear how fast I talk? And believe it or not, I used to stutter as a child. You hear that? But God is good. Confusion powder, folks. A lot of people name calling. A lot of people name calling. Ibon Lamy, your name calling. Volme Wilson, your name calling. I calling it. Mark Almond, Paul Dianjo, you all name calling. Guys, you all sharing the live stream. You know that is the first order of business. Cecile Ogle, your name calling. Morna Stobie, Denise London Welshman. Names are calling, guys. Names are calling. I see Yannick Lynch is here as well. Names are calling. Alexis Arthur, all the usual suspect. Hazel Prince, your name calling. And again, folks, moving right into the program this evening, into the fight card. You know who else name calling? Hits and Jams name calling. And this is a story I was telling you about. The company that they represent is called Statement Construction Company. And it has been awarded a contract to build a school at a place called Bamio and Amelia's Ward in Region 10, Linden. And that has come on the sharp criticisms quite recently. As a matter of fact, just today, I saw Stabrook News reporting that that company has been struck from the company's register there of our country. As you know, legally, all companies must be registered there with the deeds registry, and a piece of reporting coming out of Stabrook News just this morning. So all of that I want to talk with our friends from Hits and Jam about, and I'm very happy that they have availed themselves as true entrepreneurs and businessmen. Guys, you want to do business in this country, you gotta face the public, and you gotta face tough questions. Sometimes it isn't always rosy, it isn't always pitchy and nice. But we are so privileged that they have agreed to come on board, and we know that even though they have some challenges with their schedule, they're going to make some time to join us. Marjorie Jones, your name calling Marjorie Joseph rather than Gwenna Jones. Y'all name calling like Hits and Jam, and the company again that these guys represent called Statement Construction Company. And I said to you just before that the Stabrook News was reporting that the company has been struck from the company's register, and also questions have been raised as to the competency of the company to undertake and execute this magnitude of contract. And again, these are some of the questions. Let me take my shoulder off a little bit. Yeah, these are some of the questions that we're going to be asking both Kerwin Bollers or Rawle Furguson, or either of them, when they join us this evening. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep bringing you details on this story as we have them, or the personalities that are part of this story. That being said, folks, we said to you guys just recently, right here in the ring, we said to you that we were applauding the Guyana Police Force for this initiative that was being taken. And we see members of the, what you would call civilians being part of this program as well, undertaking the program with the Guyana Police Force. And it is a gender-based violence program. Again, teaching police ranks how to deal with such issues. And we've said to you before that too many times, much too often, when women especially go to the police for gender-based violence issues, you know, their husband might be physically abusing them, or their boyfriends, or so forth. Too often, much too often, folks, we hear that this is man and woman story, and people not getting involved in man and woman story. And this, folks, this, we hazard to say, has got to change, and got to change in a very, very meaningful way. And so we were quite struck recently. When we saw this headline that an abused woman accused the Porica police of destroying evidence. And I don't know why this evening my notes seem not to be with me, but nevertheless, as concerns this particular story, the woman says that she has suffered years of abuse at the hands of her partner, and she has made several complaints to the police force, the police station rather, at Porica. And recently she learned that those reports would have gone missing. And even more than that, quite incidentally, a relative of the accused who has been accused of being involved in this domestic violence issue concerning this young woman is a high-ranking member of the police force, or is a member of the police force, period. And so she wants to believe that something underhand has happened here, and this individual has caused the files to go missing. And this would be really, really a tragedy. So, you know, as we're praising them for having this domestic violence program running there at the Guyana Police Force, we see its relevance, because clearly, these guys here at the Porica Police Station needs this kind of training. Because why would you be doing something like this? Or why would you be allowing your colleague to do something like this? And so, again, the authorities, which really should be the police, but higher now, has to look into this, because this lady needs justice. And this is a story we are picking up from Newsroom, if I am correct. It's a story we are picking up from Newsroom, and really and truly, this story needs to go further, because again, Folks in this country need justice. Folks in this country need justice. And I will show you in that press conference that Catfish Irfaan Ali had just today, he was talking about how crime has gone down significantly. Clearly, this woman's issue hasn't been added. Clearly, her issues hasn't been added in the overall statistics where crime is concerned in this country. But again, the charges are grave. She said that that the folks there at the Purika police station, let me try to get some of the information. I'm pulling it up here at the, let me read part of the story for you. A Purika East Bank Essequibo woman has filed a complaint with the Region 3 Commander Errol Watts against ranks from the Purika police station who allegedly destroyed evidence in a case. Her name is Simone Safi, and she told the news entity Newsroom that she made multiple reports against a woman who has allegedly abused her over a number of years. But in the recent report, all the evidence has gone missing. The son, you see why I like my notes? The son of the alleged perpetrator is said to be a rank of the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, who is stationed there, and Safi believes that he may have something to do with her missing evidence, with the missing evidence, folks. Folks, we need that corrected. We need that corrected. People in this country, especially our women folk, but really and truly across the divide where gender is concerned, need justice when there's injustice being meted out to them. Need justice. And this matter should really and truly be taken very, very, very seriously. And I'm certain Natasha Singh Lewis would agree with me. Marvin Walker would agree with me. Kim Walker would agree with me as well. Marsha Glasgow would agree with me, and Roy Garraway would agree with me. Robert Narain would agree with me as well, that people in this country, when they have infractions against the law, needs to face justice, and trying to duck the woman file in this manner will not suffice. Guys, share the live stream, and I want to see those emojis. You guys know we hungry and we licorice with. I can't put it no other way. That's a Guyanese colloquial way we could put it. We love to see those emojis, to see how you guys are feeling out there. Folks like Diane Gravesandi and Daniel Passad and Iban Lamy and Chisung Henry Kesh Passad as well. Is it Kesh Sharma? Rather, we love to see those emojis. We want to know how you guys are doing out there. What is the temperature out there? What is the mood out there? And as well, we want a lot of people to get this valid and credible information, as my colleague Randy on The Rush, which just concluded, was saying. And you know, folks, so I was waiting for Randy to come off because I was listening. I was tuning in there, listening to a little bit of his program as well. Kudos to Randy and all he's doing with the afternoon rush. I think it's now just The Rush. So kudos to him. And as he would have said, we try to have the credible and valid information here for you guys. So share that live stream. And again, come on, Purika Police Station, make it right. Make it right. That being said, guys, we're gonna go through a quick chapter in the PPP playbook. A quick chapter. Let me see if I have my brother here with us. Yes, I think I have Rawle Furguson with me. As soon as I see his camera is on, Rawle, I would love to have your camera, and we're gonna go, folks. We are now gonna circle back to that first story we talk about with the Statement Construction Company and the controversy surrounding the award of that contract. And I wanna get the thoughts of Mr. Ferguson, who is joining us concerning that issue. So let me just dial back there for you guys. And this is the issue that we're looking at. Again, folks, I said that either Rawle Furguson was going to be joining us from Hits and Jam, or Kerwin Bollers, both or either of them. And we tremendously privileged to have Mr. Ferguson with us this evening. And as soon as I get an indication that he is ready from his end, we are going to be good to go. As soon as we get a sense that he is ready at his end, we are going to be good to go. We're going to put through the video, and we're going to put through the audio, and we're going to have this discussion on what their take on what has been of concern to members of the public. As soon as I have that video. In the meantime, guys, a good way to plug you guys showing us those emojis. I see a number of you have clicked those emojis, and a number of you guys have also shared the live stream. Those of you who haven't had a chance to do that as yet, go right ahead. As soon as Rawle gives me a thumbs up that he's ready, I'm going to pass through the video and we're going to be good to go. Good. I think he's ready now. So, folks, the one and only Mr. Rawle Furguson from Hits and Jam, or more particularly, the Statement Construction Company. My brother, very good evening.
Hi, good night, Sharon. How are you doing?
I am good, my brother. I'm good. First and foremost, all I was telling folks, I really am heartened that entrepreneurs like you would take the time to respond to the controversy or the questions that have been raised by the public surrounding this and similar issues. I think it augurs well to the benefit of your company and what you guys are doing, Rawle. That being said, yes, Rawle.
Yes, go ahead, Sharon.
I know you might be busy at your end. That being said, you've heard persons would have been questioning the competency of this company that seemed to have come out of nowhere and have been awarded this, I think, close to a $340 million contract to build this school at Bamia, Amelia's Ward, Linden. What do you say to those critics, those detractors?
I really want to know what is the issue. You know what I mean? If experience is the issue, we've been in business for roughly over 25 years, doing big projects, bigger projects than this. This morning they had an interview on Feli's program with Charlie Shears and my fellow director Kerwin, and he's saying he is the most experienced consultant on this project, engineer. So he is the engineer on this project. So what are we talking about when it comes to experience and so forth?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I don't see.
That is one of the questions I was going to ask you, whether you, who are the persons who would have been hired to execute the project, whether you guys are doing it yourselves frontally or you're going to subcontract aspects of the program, the project rather, to other folks.
Well, obviously we have to, and some of the things that the reason why we decided to get into this is because we wanted to provide jobs for Lindeners. Obviously, most of the 80% of the workforce will come from Linden. Obviously, there's going to be a project manager. The technical staff will come from various places in Guyana, but nevertheless, 80% of the labor, 80% of all the necessary workforce will come from Linden.
Fantastic. And you mentioned that Hits and Jams has been involved in large projects. But to be fair, it has been large projects in entertainment. And so right. persons would have not been able to make the transition between the entertainment industry and now the construction industry that you guys have been now getting your feet wet in. And the other thing that has concerned folks, based on some of the comments we've seen on social media, is the whole issues that lots of other contractors, bona fide contractors, have been turned down by the government for contracts. Why Statement Construction Company and not the others?
It was an open tender. We bid for it. Obviously, we met the criteria. Like I said, I don't know if I can answer a question what the National Tender Board did, but we were awarded that contract. We bid just like every other Guyanese in this country, and we got that contract.
Very well. Well, let me ask you something.
I can't answer a question what is going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll allow you to finish there. You said you can't answer a question.
I can't answer questions what is going on in another human being head. I know when you have an open tender, there's a independent evaluation team, and they probably would have evaluated and do all the necessaries. But this stuff is in the papers for weeks, and it was probably about 5 companies tender for this stuff, and we were the lowest tender of the lot.
Great. There's a bit of reporting in this morning's Tablet News that suggests that Statement Construction Company is not a registered company. Basically, what they're saying, its name has been struck from the registrar of companies there at the deeds registry. How would you respond to that and being granted this contract?
Sharad, to be quite frank, I find it very vindictive of Starbuck News report that our company was delisted, there was probably over 100 companies had an issue with the Gazette. There was a glitch, and I'm almost certain that you can find on the Gazette in July that these companies were put on the Gazette. So if they had done proper investigation,
And Statement Construction Company is one of those companies too.
yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. There were a problem on the Gazette a couple of months ago. It was in the news, and subsequently they rectified that problem. That had nothing to do with statement. We would have necessarily put in all the necessary stuff. It is on the Gazette. Check July 3rd, I think. July 3rd, they reissued all the companies that were qualified and registered.
Rawle, is this the first construction project of this nature that the company is engaging, or have you done work before?
We've done work before. We're currently doing a job in Linden there where we're providing 20 low-income houses for the people of Linden. We also been involved in many private projects. If you all know that we would have developed the water world there in Providence. And we're currently on a very huge project that is going to be announced in a couple of weeks' time. So, and that's a private project. So yes, we have experience, and like I said, this project, our contracting, it is now public that we've done certain stuff or whatever it is. But we've been doing this forever. Like I said, we would have did Carnival, and I want to use Carnival as an example. Carnival would have received, actually Carnival is the biggest tourism hospitality project ever in the history of Ghana. In 2018, we would have brought in about 15 to 25,000 people. You can check the records. In 2019, we brought in 50,000 people, over 50,000 people. If you do an average of $1,000, and I always say this, Sharad, if you do an average of $1,000 to 50,000 people, you'll get about close to 10 billion Guyanese dollars. You do VAT from that is like 1.4 billion. Those are some of the stuff that we did for our economy, or did for our peoples. We've injected so much energy in the hospitality sector. So I don't see a mega project of and no disrespect to no one, please, a mega project of $346 million of doing a school where the young kids of Linden are to benefit. And guess what? It opens the door now for young Black people, realizing their dreams. And I'm seeing this pushback. And Sharad, to be quite frank, you were the deputy mayor at one point in time, right?
Correct.
What experience you had in, being a deputy mayor, running a tongue and so forth prior to that?
That's a good question. The fact that I don't want to swing the interview, but I was like you guys working on the ground. And I thought that going higher would have offered me more responsibility to get work done on the ground. So I understand you saying that you guys have experience in big projects to be able to do something of this nature. But Rawle, let me be frontal with you and let us confront the elephant in the room.
Yes, sir.
The hits and jams over the years and in the recent past, for whatever reason, members of the public has associated hits and jams with the PPP and said, them boys is PPP. This is their 30 pieces of silver. Look, they get hotel with the Sheraton and the Element brand. Now they're getting big contract in London to build house. They're getting contract to build school. Them is PPP. That's the truth of the matter, really and truly. I don't know if anything is wrong with that, and I don't think anything is wrong with that per se, Rawle, because I would love to live in a country where, regardless of political parties, people can eat and live. Go right ahead.
I have a very good relationship with the PPP government. I've been working since I was a little boy, 16 years, doing many stuff. And let me be quite frank with you. I'm apolitical. Let me put it this way. I'm also a nationalist. Mm-hmm. I do things for my country. I have a very good relationship also with Miss Cathy Hughes. You can check with that. I've known her since I was 15. I have a tremendous relationship with a lot of political figures. And my thing is, I am a national patriotic individual. Don't matter how big or small the project is, once it's for Ghana, Hits and Jams is going to put the best foot forward. We've transformed entertainment. We've transformed, the radio media in our country. So regardless if I have a relationship with one or the other, my thing is about Guyana. My thing is about the young people who came from the ghettos. They can see me and aspire to do great things and never put themselves in a box.
Excellent,
We,
excellent.
you and I have a good relationship too, Sharad.
Which means you're Apnu AFC too, half and half. Half and half.
Yes,
Ron,
sir. Go ahead.
I don't know if there's anything else concerning this project that you want to let us know, but I wanted to put those questions to you guys frontally. I mean, it's easy to stay on social media on one part and to cast aspersions, but to create an environment where people can come and sit down and you hear their side. Because with one thing I learned from studying law, it is hear the other side, and I'm happy that you guys
Look,
have availed yourself to be questioned on this matter. It has raised eyebrows, Rawle. I'm certain that you guys, as entrepreneurs,
we
reading
don't
the
mind being
comments.
the icebreakers for young people, for young black people who aspire to be great. I understand this is unprecedented scrutiny because we've seen so many contracts issued within the past 10 years in our country. And two, I don't mean to head this in this direction, but two black dudes got a contract of $346 million. Suddenly we have these news entity investigating whether they're good or not, if they hire experience. Nobody in Ghana who have a contract with the oil and gas industry having experience prior to having the contract. We're promoting local content. We want our peoples to benefit. We have to take a different perspective. We have to change the narrative. We have to encourage our young people in this country that the skies are the limit, regardless if you look whatever color you represent. All right? And I want these people in this country, and obviously there are people who have ulterior motive. I don't. The only motive I have is pushing myself to the limit and growing from strength to strength. I appreciate you as an individual. I know you from long, from the what is it, the cleanup guy to the deputy mayor
They're both.
to member of parliament, and I know you aspire to be great. It doesn't end here as a journalist that you're doing it in the ring. We got to be careful what we put out there, and I want every young person to understand sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. Rawle, again, I really want to thank you guys for what you're doing in the entertainment industry. You guys have set the pace and have kept that pace. You're now venturing into construction, and I've said it here: money got to make. You understand me? And as long as people are doing it legally, as long as what you're doing can withstand scrutiny, that is the important thing.
Yes.
That is the important thing. Unjust gains is another story, but as long as what you're doing can stand scrutiny, money got to make. People got to live.
Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Rawle.
Just in closing, support Hits and Jams, support Statement. We are the Trailblazers. We came from rough beginnings, and we want to make sure that everybody understand that we mean good for this country, we mean good for our peoples, and we want to grow together, strength to strength. Strength to strength. Thank you, Sharad.
Fantastic, Rawle. Thanks for joining us.
All right, cool.
Means a lot. Great. Folks, the man himself, Mr. Rawle Furguson from Hits and Jam. And this is what, folks, I don't know how you guys take it at your end, but this is what this program was created to do. We said that everybody is welcome in the ring, whether you're APNU AFC, you're PPP, you're no party, right? Whether you are Christian, Jew, Gentile, or no religion. Because in this country, we must sit down, we must discuss ideas, and then the strongest ideas must rise to the course. Let me take off this audio. Yeah. So that is how we believe that we should do it. We have to sit down and we have to speak. And sometimes we have to deal with very controversial issues, very sensitive issues, but we have to confront them as grown-ups. And I have put the question to them, y'all is PPP? Because we have a feeling, right? When you look at things, these guys is PPP. They have gotten lots of concessions under the PPP, and here they are with rolling out projects again. And you've heard directly from Mr. Furguson, Rawle Furguson, on behalf of Statement Construction Company, and you're going to have to be the judge of them going down the road as we move off from here. But again, when their company and people who are similarly engaged in projects, when what they're doing can stand this test of scrutiny. Unfortunately, that is the business world, that is the entrepreneurial world. Money got to make. People don't run on water. That's why we tell you guys partner with us here every night, because this don't run on water neither. Money got to make. Bills got to pay it. And let us be fair too. I mean, those guys have been the trailblazers in the entertainment industry, and started and set the bar really, really high where entertainment is concerned. We're pulling off mega events is concerned, and really have been the trailblazers there in many regards. And now they're venturing into a different area. And COVID has caused a lot of companies to have to rethink, right? And as you say, diversify their portfolio. And so here, these guys going into that area, and I've asked them the questions. Frankly, I don't want to ask a whole set of unnecessary questions, but are you guys registered as a company? Sabak News discussed that this morning. You know, are you guys PPP? Lots of people say, you know, as I said, there is where those guys are leading, and you've had them respond to that. I know somebody else who's been covering this issue as well, Mr. Gavin Matthews, has been on this issue, and I think he's going to join us, maybe or maybe not. But I want to get on back to where we guys were in our program with the issues that were on. Excuse me, 1 second. We're on the fight card. So we're gonna head back there, guys. That being said, we are going to head back there. As we said, this is the issue we were discussing with the Statement Construction Company and all of the controversy that has been surrounding that company. And I think I do have Mr. Gavin Matthews with me, he's gonna offer some thoughts on his perception on what has been happening here as it concerns this entity. So I'm going to be joined by Mr. Gavin Matthews now, and I think I have him with me. Let me see if I can put him through quickly and get his thoughts on him. Gavin was with us quite recently.
Good night, Sherwood.
Gavin Matthews from the Gavin Matthews Show. I am good, Gavin. I know this is one of the issues that has been ventilated. You have been ventilating on your program. What are your thoughts?
This is not about creating jobs for a contract. No one is stupid. Mr. Ferguson needs to know that. He needs to know that not only he, as a Guyanese or a businessman, can think that whatever he thinks or say, we got to swallow that as a Guyanese. So that's the very first thing.
What is your grouse with what you've heard? The company, they awarded the contract, and
it's atrocious. It's atrocious. It is. And I don't have no qualms about it. I don't care how experienced they are. You can't just come on board and have a contract for $345 million. You know how much money is that? These boys ain't got no experience in contracting. I don't care if you could hire the best contractor, or the best engineer, or the best mason, or the best carpenter to do what you need to do. I don't care about that. The mere fact is that we're giving you, we're putting $345 million in yuan. You have no experience of handling.
Which is what I put to Rawle, and he responded because and responded by saying he doesn't know what is in the mind of the tender and procurement entity as to
I beg your pardon?
Hold on.
He doesn't know what's in his mind.
Hold on. He said there are a list of criteria that had to be satisfied. They tender for the project, and in the mind of the tender and procurement body, they satisfied the criteria and were awarded the contract.
In the mind of the PPP, that's the case. In the mind of the PPP, they were awarded $345 million of taxpayers' money. In the mind of the PPP, not in the mind of the tender who runs the tender board. So don't let Rawle Furguson come and put wishy-washy on your program to feed we the Guyanese people and expect me to swallow that pill. Let him go back and to make sure that he keeps on promoting 2 pieces of fried chicken, some fries, and a 10-ounce drink for people who doesn't want to be informed. Let him go back and do that. Or let him go back and make sure that he informs Guyanese about what is going on right now in this country pertaining to the de facto administration. Don't come to tell me that nobody can. What was it? Look, he get me so ticked off when I saw him say that on your program first.
I thought an important aspect of the discussion was also the fact that there are lots of Guyanese people equally and companies that have been sidelined for contracts. And I put that question there too.
Of
lots
course,
of Guyanese
that have well experience than him, that handle more than $100 million contract already. Those are the companies that are experiencing it. I don't care whether they're a shoemaker or what. They have evidence that they handle more than 200, 140, $150 million contract. He has none. So what is he going to tell me?
And but Gavin, let me put this to you as well. I was listening a little bit to Charles Series on Hits and Jams this morning on the same issue. And as you know, Charles Series is a engineer, and as the company has said now, he is one of the engineers on the program. And what Mr. Series was saying is that there's a colonial mindset that black people must know nothing. Black people isn't involved in big business. And so this is some of the pushback we are seeing. Series says is a mindset, is a colonial mindset. Do you have a colonial mindset, Gavin?
No, I don't have a colonial mindset. This is my mindset. We all know that Hits and Jams are involved with the PPP. Sherrod, don't let me run away from it. If they want me to talk, let me talk. Let Gavin match with me mouth rip. We know that Hits and Jams are involved with the PPP. What colonial mindset are they talking about? Let everybody go back to the PPP, man. Let them go to sit down and drink the cup of the water. Don't involve me taxpayers and don't expect me for don't say nothing about it. Don't involve me money as a taxpayer and tell me I no reason for talk about it. Which colonial mindset? It's the PPP. All of them are involved with it. We know years ago that his family involved. His family involved with the Canadians when the bus with the drugs in Canada. Who was government then? Was the PPP? Was Barry Jack Dio with the water? I can talk. It's public. This why I tell you right now they're in the public. It's not Gavin Matthews say. I can tell you. So when they're trying to tell people.
Yeah, but that is why we asked the representatives from the company, and Rawle availed himself, because we know that the controversies, the questions have been swirling out there. And as I again put to him, the perception out there is that Hits and Jams is PPP, and this is why they've been awarded contract.
Sherrod, excuse me, Mr. Duncan, I'm very much sorry in your program, but I can say this to all Guyanese that are looking. Hits and Jam is an arm of the PPP. Don't let nobody fool nobody. No Rawle Furguson come up and feel that he's no saint. You understand? I don't care who he be. Them boys is PPP. So don't come up here and try to blindside nobody. When the PPP was government, when boys is dropping like flies. You understand? They never say nothing, but by the way, you know what? Let me keep on topic. This is about the little 340 something million dollars would have been awarded. You understand? And he coming up on the program for tell people, but what? Look, Sharon, I want to thank you very much for having me on your program. Them things make I fired up because you know why? These boys just feel people blind. Them is slaves. You know what I'm telling you? Them boys is slaves. This them is why it's called slaves. Oh, slaves. I don't
Gavin, what is the perception of Money Got Mac? The guy is got a legitimate company. Money Got Mac.
Yeah. It's taxpayers' money when you got no experience in. It's 340 million. We got 9.5 billion for pay. We can't even start paying it. The bank, Gaisuku owes the Bank of Jamaica $9 million Sherrod. And we can't even pay that. And look how long ago was that. This is since 2005. We still getting away money to people ain't making sense. We got to be serious. We still giving money to people who ain't making sense. I don't care how much you experience in Hits and Jams. You never ever covered a project that is worth $345 million. You have no experience in it. How can you give a project
which again
cost something
is
$10 million?
That I asked, and whether you agree with the answer or not, that is up to you. But they said they are currently doing a project in Linden for some low income houses, and they would have engaged in some other project in the past. Don't say I didn't ask the question. Whether you believe the answer is another story, right?
Kind of thing is this.
But believe the
Hey,
answer is another story.
oh, I tell you what, these
I
boys
think
never have
Gavin,
nobody for challenge them, Gerald. These boys don't
it's,
have.
it's a good opportunity for you to submit a tender too. Who knows? Maybe Gavin will be building 2 schools shortly.
It's a kind of thing is this.
Emotional
By the way, though,
distress. You cause a lot of people emotional distress in this place. When you get
kudos
into
to them. Kudos to them. But let me tell you something. I
Talk to
can
us.
be on their P's and Q's for accountability that they'd never forget Gavin Matthews. They wanted here, Sherrod, this money that you see passing here, so going in people's pockets, you know. Pretend the board feel like to give them. Seriously? Somebody can't even give accountability for the money so they have built the empire. Where they getting it from? How they getting
And
who
that's
getting
why I
most
said again, it is the public ultimately who's going to have the last say. When you look and you see what is happening and what's going on, because we ain't fools, we big, but we ain't stupid. We big, but we ain't stupid. All right? The public will have the last say. That being said, Gavin, thanks for coming through. This is what the ring is about. It's the fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight.
Thank you very much for having me on your program.
Thank you for coming through. Thanks for coming through, Gavin. Great to see you. Folks, the one and only Mr. Gavin Matthews joining us there. And Gavin is tickled pink. Getting back to the other stories on the fight card for this evening. You know, y'all like story. Y'all like story. So getting back to the other stories, we've talked about this. We've also talked about what's happening with the Guyana Police Force and the training there that is much needed. And we were now touching on the PPP playbook. That is where we are on the fight card, on the PPP playbook. That's where we are in the fight card, ladies and gentlemen, and that is where we are returning. Share the live stream. Guys, we got lots of other information to share with you guys. Look what happened here. The Project Thieves, the PPP. The Project Thieves. I have lost my notes in that little bit there, and so I'm just going on what I would have read from the notes a little early on before we came on. Look at the Project Thieves, folks. This is a project being executed in the hinterland. It is a disaster emergency area that is being built. If you have a natural disaster or something is happening there, you can house people at this facility. Now you see the rubber stamp Prime Minister Mark Phillips walking through, waving, oh, we build places, we project, and so on. But it was actually conceptualized and initiated and started under the APNU AFC. Under the APNU AFC. But they ain't gonna set up. They are not going to say that. But, for instance, if you go back to July 2019, I think it's July 12th, reporting in the Guyana Times of all places, you will see that this project was being executed by the APNU AFC government. So y'all see them putting up big pictures in DPI. Y'all say, wow, look what the PPP doing. The projects. But y'all don't know the real story, the backstory. Conceptualized under Mr. Joseph Harmon, to his credit, according to the July 12th, 2019 reporting in Guyana Times. Under Mr. Joseph Harmon, this disaster preparedness facility was conceptualized, initiated, and was being executed. And then, as you know, 2020 election happened, and you know the rest. And now these jagabats here, saying the project is theirs. They never point, and we have highlighted here in the ring lots of other projects. COVID centers in Region 2 and that road from the East Bank to the East Coast that is being constructed. All of that and lots of other projects had their genesis under the APNU AFC, but they would never come and say, you know, it's a project we inherited and were able to complete. It's never their money, it's taxpayers' money. But you must give credit where credit is due. And folks, that being said, we spoke to you guys here on this very program as well about the Zulfikar Mustafa story and corruption under the PPP. We spoke to you about this, and we're linking this to a story we focused on last evening to give you an update, right? Because in this Zulfikar Mustafa story, Zulfikar Mustafa, according to again Stabrook News, said that 2 things that happened under the Ministry of Agriculture were corrupt. That's what they said. This is the trawler license giveaway that they were very, very concealed about. The trawler license giveaway and an issue concerning the tendering for steel frames. And then what we saw after that is that you had a lot of confusion concerning the farmers' flood relief. The farmers' flood relief, as you know, we had that massive flooding recently of the country. National disaster was declared, and then the farmers subsequently affected by that national flood, they were given financial compensation. Well, we hear big house bill for lots of people in the Ministry of Agriculture because they raided the coffers, taxpayers' money. They raided, and one such person that has come in for sharp criticism is this Jagabat Bisesar Prasad, who we featured last evening. We were made to understand that investigations are ongoing, and he has been fingered as one of the chief cooks and bottle washer in this scandal concerning millions of taxpayers' dollars. And we were able to verify the update that he was asked to resign. His resignation was tendered and accepted. His resignation was tendered and accepted because he had a hand in what should have been the distribution of monies equitably to farmers affected. And who named them, scratch off the list, didn't go on the list, and a whole manner of things. So Bisesar Prasad name calling. And this is part of the PPP playbook. When one of their people are involved in corrupt activities, you see, quietly, he's asked to resign. This don't make Chronicle, it don't make NCN, it don't make DPI. Quietly, Bisesar Prasad has been asked to resign. He's a scamp and a jagabat. Things tight, but you don't have a thief taxpayers' money. Things tight. Things tight. And that was one of the aspects of Irfaan Ali Presser. Things tight, folks. Y'all better share the damn live stream. And we want to see those emojis. It tight. It tight. Well, the press conference was bare madness. Bare madness. The first question, Irfaan sick? That is the first question I want to ask. Is Irfaan sick? Irfaan coughed right through the press conference. I got to about 45 minutes in. The press conference is about an hour long. And Irfaan coughed but 500 times. Irfaan just come back from Glasgow, where he hugging everybody, touching everybody, no mask on. He coughed through the whole press conference and drinking a set of water. Is the installed president sick? And what sick he got? You know, back in the day, we'd call it dark cough. Every second, Irfaan coughing. Drink some water. Literally on the minute. Cough, water, cough, water, cough, water. But somehow, he seemed to have to give this presser because he must have known he ain't feeling well. He ain't up to it. Some people are suggesting it is investor confidence that Irfaan is trying to shore up. It is investor confidence Irfaan is trying to shore up. And in addition to that, things tight. And there's been a lot of backlash where the cost of living is concerned and how the cost of living is going up. And there are lots of things that tell us on a daily basis, Ghana is not a real place, especially under these jagabats. The installation crew, team installation, nothing in regular. Ghana is not a real place. People going back to basics. People are being forced to go back to basic. Gas price up. People can't even afford gas, horsepower now. It's cow power. Right? It's not a Corolla car. It's a Corolla. You got to go back to basics. It's a Corolla. We want to see those emojis and we want to see those damn shares as well. It's a Corolla. Corolla. Not a Corolla. You can't afford to drive your car. So people hopping on the neighbor cow. If they got a cow and that is how they're going, things tight. Things are tight. But these are the people. And this cow horn is going to moo. Things tight under them boys. Things tight. Look what they promised us. Look what was the big promise. Y'all should know this by heart. We featured so much. This was the theme of the last budget. A pathway to recovery, economic dynamism, and resilience. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? A pathway to recovery, economic dynamism, and resilience. Viewers from around the world, are we there yet? That is the question that needs to be asked. Are we there yet? Nope, we are not there as yet. Unfortunately, things tight. We ain't by the dynamism, and we definitely not by the resilience. Let's fight. We got to fight. So let me focus on a few aspects of this press conference. So we there. We say press conference being held, statements being read, and we remember them boys promised that they're going to let us know about how much, because they promised they're going to raise, firstly, they're going to give a salary increase to public servants. So when we hear press conference, the man just come back from Glasgow, we said thing there. Money go make now for public servants. Money got to make. Statement construction company making the money. His St. John's making the money. Public servants got to make the money too. Unfortunately, no announcements on salary for public service. No. Whole hour. No announcements where that is concerned. Yep. And if you are waiting to hear an announcement on year-end bonus, nope. Not this press conference. Maybe the next one. But what he said is that the shortages and the high prices are due to global supply crisis. They blame everybody. It is never them. They take responsibility for nothing. The billions that they're throwing in the economy ain't doing nothing. Poor management, poor fiscal management, but it's not them. It's the supply chain issues globally. That is what he ranted for about half hour. And then he went to crime. And we come in there. He said it's the global supply issues. Remember, we got Kaulasar, a previous finance minister in the ministry there now. We got Ashley Singh, previous and current finance minister, or rather senior minister within the office of the president with responsibility for finance. And then we got Jack Neo, another previous finance minister. And still, they're throwing money, billions, at the problem that is this economy. And they're moving it, they're moving the needle. He says not them. It's not Kaulasar, it's not Jagdio, it's not Ashni. It's the global supply chain crisis that causing goods and services to increase. Goods like bora and garlic and lettuce. It's the global supply chain. Right? And he said lockdown too. Again, he giving you a reason why they ain't going by lockdown. He said lockdown historically causes prices to increase by 10%. Again, it's not them. It's the lockdown. Right? It's not their bad fiscal management. Right? Pitching money at everything, hoping the problem gets solved. It's not them. It's the lockdown that caused prices to increase. And then from there, he talked about the taxes, right, that they rolled back from the Granger administration. The taxes that were rolled back. He said they did all of those things because somehow in their mind, they perceived these global shortages and they were rolling back the taxes. Right? They were rolling back the taxes. Like for instance, they took tax off the water, 5%. That everybody know, only big businesses going to benefit from that. Because a normal household and using water, no commercial scale to benefit from 5%. How much is 5% of 3,000? When the month come or when the year come, how much is 5% of $10,000? To say you're putting back money in the pockets of Guyanese that they can use to spend. And Bora and Allion, the car brand Allion carrying the same price. When you're meeting up to the difference with a 5% on $3,000 in water rates when the year come, when you're going back there. So he said lockdowns. And from now, they didn't say that, mind you, when they rolled back those taxes. They didn't say this was because of global shortages. It was because of other things. But no. He said, you see, we were so forward thinking. We did all of these things last year to cushion the effects of the supply chain shortages. And from this bizarre aspect of the first aspect of the presser, which is basically to shore up in confidence, investor confidence. We say, oh, all things bright and beautiful. We know what we're doing. In addition to that, the man said that a number of international agencies has lauded the tax measures that they implemented. But he couldn't quote one of these international companies. In between catching his breath, drinking water, he couldn't quote one of them. Of these companies that lauded the tax measure. He didn't quote one of the international institutions. But this whole issue of the economy and how things tight, that was the first half. The second half of the man press conference had to do with crime. Robeson Ben was nowhere to be seen or heard. The name Robeson Ben was not mentioned once in a whole press conference, of which half of it dealt with crime. The installed president never said once, I am confident in the installed minister of Home Affairs and fighting crime. It is like Robeson Ben did not even exist. The president was quoting stats that the police force should be issuing. And Robeson Ben, there was the man with the little pie chart, flipping the little booklet. Head of state just come back from Glasgow. Flipping the little pie chart. Y'all see this? Crime gone up. Y'all see that? Crime gone hey. And this is only some of it, you know. I ain't got a chance to really unpack. I hope y'all sharing this live stream. Again, borrowing a word from the lexicon of my colleague Randolph Christian. I ain't unpacking fully yet. But he said one crime is too much. One crime is too much. I'm quoting him here. So if you all say my English is wrong, I'm quoting the installed Irfaan Ali, the catfish president. He said one crime is too much. The real English people would know it's too many. Things that can be counted is always many. Things that cannot be counted is much. But that's what the man said. One crime is too much. First thing he said. Then he said nationally. Crime has gone down by 19.4%. Nationally, crime gone down by 19.4%. That's what Irfaan tell me. But tell that to the woman who is being abused, gone to the station for making a report, and all the evidence missing. Tell that to her. That crime gone down by 19%. Right? Tell people who, like our in Boston family, crime gone down by 19.4%. Tell that to the Henry boys, Mr. No Stone Unturned. Tell that to them. And Harry Singh family, crime gone down by 19.4% nationally. That's how Irfaan come between his many coughs. Water. To tell us. He's sick, you know. He is sick. That is what he come to tell us. Crime gone down by 19.4% nationally. Here was another stunner from Catfish. He said when they took over August 2nd of 2020, 90% of the vehicles in the Ghana police force were out of order. 90%. Right? And folks, y'all know, right? Those folks who want to be honest, y'all know. We want to see the emojis and we want the shares. Robin Doreen, you know. Thomasina Ben, you know. Diane Fordyce, you know as well. And Portia Popskull and Hazel Job and Paulette Niles, Icon Boss. Y'all know crime went down under Apnu AFC. You didn't only see it, you felt it. You did not only see it, you felt it. So when Irfaan come with this thing out in the PPP playbook, we recognize it. 19%. So you telling me, Granger them the fighting crime with 10%? We were fighting crime and effectively and efficiently with 10% capacity? So what the PPP doing with 10%? You see, it's not the percentage. It's not the length. It's how you use it. It's not the body, the mass, the volume. Irfaan, you got to use it 10% effective and efficiently. Because clearly, Apnu AFC used their 10% different from how these jagabats use the 10%. Not so, Jeremy. Leslin Alves, Marla Pandey, not so. Ibon Lamy. Hear what else? He said, right? Praising this 19% that they're fighting with 10%, of course, capacity, right? And they have improved from there. Again, in a whole half hour. On crime, he did not mention the installed Minister of Home Affairs once. But there was Catfish going through a whole booklet of graphs and saying, oh, this red part is increased, this green part is decreased. What the police force PR department doing? Stan Govai and them boys. Mark Ramatar and them boys. What the police force PR department doing? What the Home Affairs Minister and the PR department there doing at Home Affairs? What Mayor doing? The PS. That this man got to come back from Glasgow coughing, sick, sweating and coughing and drinking water steady. Sweating, coughing and drinking water. Who really out there in the wheelchair in that condition? With me. With Robson. With Akins. With Blanham. Y'all understand where we are? Y'all understand where we are? And if you don't understand, you understand where we there and where we be? And this is only the surface of the press conference. The tip of the iceberg. The beginning. The alpha. Is that the omega? And we're going to be unpacking this. More and more. 10% they said they're fighting crime with. They meet 90% of the vehicles and so on. The motorbike, the cars and so on. Not working. You realize? Folks, let's turn our attention very quickly to the PNCR decides 2021. I got some information we got to share with you guys. What happened today? What happened over the last 24 hours? What's going down there? PNCR decides 2021, the road to the 21st biannual Delegates Congress. Folks, we got to keep fighting. 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 Let's fight. So let's turn our attention briefly here now for Irfaan. And it's total confunction nonsense. It's total confunction nonsense. For those folks who did not or may not know, today, folks, today, not tomorrow, today was nomination day. And you guys would know this has been a process of surprises. There's been a process of surprises and lots of the twists and the turn of this campaign for high office there of the PNCR. We've had quite a few surprises. Not so? Quite a few surprises. Let me get the graphic right. That is the right graphic. Quite a few surprises. And so, folks, if you have not been following, today was nomination day. And I really want to see some of these comments as we touch on some of these issues. Deborah Thomas and Kim Walker. Is it Rennie and Cecile Ogle, Laverne Harricharan, Valda Wolford, all you fantastic folks. It has been a period of surprises. Now, one of the photographs that emerged today that really and truly should be picture of the day is this photograph. This photograph. And again, it is nomination day, and as the different themes, whether it is team Aubrey Norton or team Joseph Harmon, or is it team Van Miss Charles, who are the persons who have thrown their hats into the race for leader of PNCR, they made their way to Congress Place in Sophia today to submit their names, to submit the candidates on their slates, and so forth. And there was a moment, ladies and gentlemen, that was shared between the two front runners, if one can say that. Two of the candidates. I don't want to offend Mr. Van Miss Charles in any way. Two of the candidates, Mr. Joseph Harmon and Mr. Aubrey Norton, that we thought was noteworthy. Here were these two gentlemen who are battling the political battle of their political careers, if one can say so, for the top spot, the top job there, the People's National Congress reform. The Congress comes up in December, shaking hands. And of all the photographs we have posted on our page since this race has started, this one, I think, the guys told me has generated the most comments and emojis. And it says to us that the PNCR, out of all, this is going to be a united party and are a united party. Right? So y'all don't get tied up. So this, we can say, is our photo of the day. Cecilia Clark and Orrin Don Cook and David Wood and so forth. Picture of the day, folks. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? But folks, as we said, this has been a period of surprises, and we don't have all of the information for you where nominees have been concerned. But some of what we know at this hour, the question can be asked, is Big Auntie Valda out? Is Big Auntie Valda out? And picking up from a bit of reporting from Newsroom just last evening, it suggested that Valda Lawrence will not be contending for leader of the PNCR. That piece of reporting out of Newsroom yesterday tells us that. And folks, Diane Gravesandi and Sharon Sampson, I hope you guys have taken the opportunity to share the live stream thus far. The information we have suggests, again, that Valda Lawrence will not be contesting for leader. A year ago, even 6 months ago, maybe even 3 months ago, if you told me that this was going to be the reality, I would have said, no, the devil is a liar. Irfaan is a liar. The PPP wicked, what have you. I wasn't going to be having it. But this is the reality, and it just goes to show how in politics things can turn on a dime. And a month in politics is a lifetime. And that is the time to the actual Congress in December. So lots of time, lots of political space between now and December. But again, if you had told us, let me get myself a little better, that this was going to be the reality, that Comrade Rawle Lawrence was going to be out of running for leader of the PNCR, I said, nah. In addition to that, an additional piece of reporting that we're picking up on is that we reminded you guys that when the last press conference that the PNCR had on the issue of its Congress, that press conference featured Comrade Rawle Lawrence. And one of the things that she said is that if nominated, she will consider from that part where she's going, if nominated. Job, Anthony, and Margaret, and Sonia, Janet, if nominated. But the reporting we have this evening is that even though she was nominated by at least one group, might have been other groups, but we know one group out of Sophia, I think it was, nominated Comrade Lawrence for chairman of the party, we're being made to understand that she will not be serving in any capacity, any elected capacity coming out of this 21st biannual delegates Congress. And so that too is a surprise. So the question we're asking is Rawle out? There has been no official confirmation as yet from Comrade Rawle Lawrence herself. But this is reading the tea leaves and what some political pundits are saying, that Rawle Lawrence, for all intents and purposes, is out of contesting in any way for this 21st biannual delegates Congress. The other question is being asked tonight, is Basil Williams in? Is Basil in? John Byrne, is Basil in? Andy Williams, is Basil in? Roxanne Liverpool, because again, Sophia seemed to be setting the precedent, right? Sophia is our Florida in the US. Sophia seems to be setting the precedent because there's a group in Sophia, and I think Odessa Primus belongs to this group. I don't know if this was orchestrated by Odessa Primus, who has great admiration for Basil Williams. But Basil Williams has been nominated for leader of the party. And again, it is yet to be seen whether Basil will accept that nomination, Comrade Basil Williams. But as we've seen thus far, folks, the contenders for the top spot has been Comrade Aubrey Norton. It has been Comrade Mr. Van West Charles, and also we have the current leader of the opposition, Mr. Joseph Harmon, who have thrown their hat into that race. Richard Van West Charles, Aubrey Norton, and we've had Joseph Harmon. And so whether, as I said to you, there's still a bunch ahead of us and lots can happen. Whether Basil throws his hat in the race in a formal way remains to be seen. Margaret Jones, Janet Edwards, Gwenna Jones, and all the other folks, Marsha Gordon and Rennie Mackenzie Talbot. Whether Basil formally throws his hat into the race, Basil could be the dark horse. What say you, Candy Naleen, Inderjeet, and Jermaine Osborne, and Asif Williams? Is Asif Williams related to Basil Williams? Because Asif is saying, yes, go, Basil. Basil could be the dark horse. As we said in an earlier program, it was G.H. Lal who had said that Richard Van West Charles is the dark horse in this race, in this three-way race. But could Basil bring that upset? Right? Could Basil this late in the game, still quite a distance to go to Congress there in December, but could Basil this late in the game put together a team and mount a formidable run? Could that still happen? And so the question being asked this evening, is Basil in? I know Marla Pandey would love to see Basil serve. And Mordam Monroe and John Board and so forth would love to see Basil serve as leader. But it remains to be seen. Basil has not commented as yet on whether he is accepting that nomination and whether he will mount a challenge and a formidable challenge to the contenders currently for leader of the PNCR. Cease and desist. Cease and desist. I have not endorsed anyone. So Christopher Jones' photograph just yesterday appeared on a piece of literature coming out of the Harmon campaign. And some folks say that Chris was asked whether he would serve on that slate, the Harmon slate, and he consented. Chris had other thoughts. And so when his face appeared on that poster, that campaign material coming out of the Harmon campaign, Christopher Jones, who is the chief whip, put out a statement stating that he has not endorsed anyone. But some of the comments under that post were very chilling and very telling. Nonetheless, in saying cease and desist from, attributing my endorsement to any particular candidate, he said, I have not endorsed anyone. As a matter of fact, the last time I saw Chris, he was doing some coverage of the nomination day on behalf of the PNCR at Congress Place this morning, and not with any particular camp. So it remains to be seen if at all, where publicly the chief whip and member of parliament, Christopher Jones, where he comes down in this three-way race for the time being, unless, of course, you have Basil Williams throwing in his hat in the race as well. And then there was what I consider a late-night shocker, what we considered a late-night shocker, because some insiders were saying that that Viceroy Hansel Jordan of Region 5 was going to be with the Harmon camp, and then Viceroy late last evening put out a statement, put out an endorsement for the Norton camp, outlining very cogently and systematically, if I might say so, the reasons why he is supporting Aubrey Norton for leader of the PNCR in this, the 21st Biannual Delegates Congress Day of the PNCR. And so this, to our minds here in the ring, was a little late night shocker. And if that was not enough to digest, just this morning, bright and early, we saw some notifications coming in that the one and only Simona Brooms had gone live, and she was discussing some of the campaigning, some of the negative campaigning that has been going on. She said, this kind of dirty campaigning, these aspects of dirty campaigning does not represent the PNCR brand well. And so Simona Brooms was pushing back on some of that, and saying that we ought to represent the party of the great Lyndon Forbes Sampson Boredom better than we are representing it now. She said she was disgusted by some of the negative campaigning she was seeing, she was witnessing. She was ashamed of some of what she was witnessing, and saying to party comrades, we have to unite, continue to unite to build our party and to present a formidable institution to defeat ultimately them jagabats on the other side. And so it was quite interesting, some of the other commentary that came out of Simona Brooms this morning in that live stream, folks. And finally, Marlon Thomas says she right. Marlon Thomas says she right. And then Monica Johnson says Region 5 is for Aubrey Norton under MP Jordan. And again, we thought that some of the comments coming out of that live stream by former Minister Simona Brooms was quite telling as to the temperature of the race thus far. But again, harkening back to that warm embrace by Comrade Norton and Harmon during the festivities there, that is the nomination day festivities at the PNCR Sophia location this morning, that warm embrace, it tells us that we're going to get past this. This too shall pass. That being said, finally, ladies and gentlemen, over the last 24 hours, we saw another live video coming out from a fellow called Kelvin Allen, but better known as Poor People Governor. And he expressed total disappointment that more young persons, more MPs like Viceroy Jordan, like Amanda Walton Desir, like Christopher Jones, all the MPs weren't vying for the top spot of a leader. He said, and he is one of the persons in charge of, I think it's I hope I get it right, the West End PNCR group in Ontario, Canada. The West End group. I may have the location wrong, but as far as I know, the West End group there, PNCR in Canada, Poor People Governor Kelvin Allen said he wanted to see more young persons challenging the leadership for the top spot, and that was his concern. He was tremendously disappointed. In his words, people talked about getting rid of Granger and getting rid of this body and so on, but weren't offering themselves in comparison up for election and election to as a leader of the PNCR. And folks, as I've said here on countless occasions, we believe strongly here that this augurs well for not only inter-party democracy, but democracy in our country as a whole. And this happens in other places. It is new to Guyana. And so, we look at it and we say, look what's happening here. But this is not the only place. And it can only redound to our benefit and the deepening of the democratic process inter-party, first and foremost, and then nationally. Because I'm certain when them Jagabats come up on the other side, people are going to want to know, why y'all appointing people? Why aren't we seeing a similar democratic process? And y'all want to accuse people of rigging? And they're rigging non-stop, still rigging systems to favor them. These Jagabas, the PPP, rigged to get Irfaan where he is, and pointing fingers, So they are going to be hard-pressed not to pursue internal party democracy in a similar fashion as against this closed door and you handpick, and then you end up with a catfish. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's our program for tonight. That's our program for this week. Tomorrow, I shouldn't say that's going to be a program for this week. Tomorrow, folks, In the Ring is celebrating 1 year tomorrow. And so we're going to have a program tomorrow night, same time. And I can't tell you what format it's going to take because we don't know yet. We know some craziness is going to happen, but we're going to put it together to wish ourselves happy birthday, happy 1 year. And we hope that you guys join us as well tomorrow to wish us happy birthday. And in true Guyanese style, guys, we expect a little small something. For we birthday people, we expect a little small something. So guys, just being facetious there, but nonetheless, making the pitch for you guys to come on board and to partner with us. We cannot do this without you. We turn one tomorrow. And guys, largely, it is all because of you. We have been here 1 year doing this. And I will show you tomorrow the very first, a brief part of that, the very first In the Ring live that we did. And Yaga promised not to laugh. Not to laugh, guys. Please promise me not to laugh. We're going to show you guys the first one. But come on board and partner with us. We cannot run this this enterprise on water, bringing you the valid and incredible information. We need your help. We need your support. We've said to you, and we're saying it again, you can come on board and partner with us for as low as $5 per month. That is $10. That's 1,000 Guyana dollars. Help us to keep the lights on and pay some of the other bills. Help us to expand our program, as you're going to see we rolling out shortly. Help us to do those things. $5, $10, 15, 20. So those are the amounts we ask you guys to come on board and partner with us monthly. If you guys want to go bigger than that, be our guest. Send something for we birthday, man. Good to have all of you guys here. It's been our privilege and our pleasure having you guys night after night. We cannot and could not have done this year without all of you. Give us a little share for that, man. So I've done 365 days with you guys here, basically. Right? And believe it or not, we only started asking for you guys to subscribe, for a subscription from you guys in August. So we did basically about 9 months out of pocket doing this on your behalf, because we know how much good information is to you guys, and we will continue to do so. But we need your help as well. So come on board and partner with us. We want to see those emojis. If you haven't smashed that emoji, that like, that love, that care, that whatever, guys, smash that emoji now before you go. And also, guys, we want you to share this live stream before you go. That is very, very important to us. And a wide cross-section of the public at home in Guyana and also around the world gets a chance to see this information and be alerted and to be edified about what is happening here, what is happening in good old BG. Thanks for joining us, guys. It has been our privilege. Again, we're strong on advising you guys on COVID-19. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, practice all of the COVID-19 protocols that are in place for your health and your safety, that of your friends, family, and loved ones. Don't get like Irfaan. If you forget these things, you might start coughing. If you forget these things, you might gotta drink a lot of water. If you forget these things, you might be sweating plenty. Practice the COVID-19 protocols. They're in place for the safety of your friends, family, and loved ones, and yourself, folks. See you guys tomorrow night. And please share the live stream. I'm going to stick around for a couple of seconds and give some folks a shout out. Folks like Laverne, Austin, Simon, thanks for being here with us. And Sita, good to see you there. Sita, let me see Sita. Wow, the names are going by so fast. Sita, good night to Sita. Good night, Joan Stephanie. Good night, Progress Passard, fancy name. Good night, Valder Robinson and Darian Lawrence. Good night to all you fantastic folks. Jennifer Bob, if you don't comment, I won't see the names. Marcia Agard, Warnella Garnett, good to see you. All you beautiful, fantastic folks. Roger Norris, good to see you there as well, Roger. Stacy Ann Stoll, Stacy Ann, good to see you there. Janet Edwards and Jolette Asana, good to see you as well. Is it Charlene? Good to see you there. The names are rushing by. Rhonda Lane and Hazel Job, Sharmila, Simeon Carter. I see Richard Lane is with us as well. And is it Jamal Moon Sami with some bright eyes there? Jack Powers, Allen is there as well from Barbados. Good to see you. Roxanne Myers is there as well. Isabel Butters. All you fantastic folks. I hope y'all just not hitting the emojis, but y'all taking the opportunity to share the live stream as well. Let me see how we're doing on that front. All of you fantastic, lovely, beautiful, uncontroversial, God-loving, God-fearing people have shared the live stream thus far. We want this information to get as far and wide. We want to waste time. So guys, hit that share button a couple more times before you go. Hit that share button a couple more times. Do us that great favor and share the live stream before you go. Share the live stream before you go, folks. That being said, Heaven Faith and Mark Alman, Jamal Aziz, Nolene Fraser, again, Donna Tasana, German Osborne, all you great, fantastic people. Dennis Booker, great to see you guys. Edward Brooms and Valder Robinson, Florette Jacobs Ward, Orvin Don Cook, Don Nelson. Have a great evening, guys. Join us tomorrow night. Be sure to join us tomorrow night. Same time, same place.